Have you ever had night terrors? Do you see the movements of beings out the corner of your eyes? Have you ever spoken words and minutes later it happened? Are you looking for answers? Then seek them here. Creative Inspiration Radio is now on with your host, Alonda Vidarjon.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of Creative Inspirations Radio, also known as Creative iRadio. I'm your host, the Reverend Alonda Vidarjon, and on this edition, it's being brought to you by daymuse.com. In our last edition, I went over the origins of spiritualism and how it fared against other religions, and now we're going to talk about the decline. The invention of the telegraph in 1844 led spiritualists to claim that an unseen spiritual telegraph to the dead also existed. Showmanship became an increasingly important part of spiritualism, and the visible, audible, and tangible evidence of spirits escalated as mediums competed for paying customers. By the late 1880s, the credibility of the informal movement had weakened due to accusations of fraud being perpetrated by the mediums, and formal spiritual organizations began to appear all over the place. An independent investigative commission repeatedly established, most notably in 1887, the report of the Sabert Commission, that fraud was widespread, and in some of the cases were even prosecuted in courts. The claims of spiritualists and others as to the reality of ghosts became investigated by the Society for Physiological Research, founded in London in 1882. The Society set up a committee on haunted houses and a literary commission which looked at the literature on the subject. Prominent investigators who exposed cases of fraud came from a variety of backgrounds, including professional researchers such as Frank Podmore of the Society for the Psychical Research, or Harry Price of the National Laboratory of Psychical Research. Professional conjurers such as John Neville Maskelyne exposed the Davenport brothers by appearing in the audience during their shows and explaining how the trick was done. During the 1920s, professional musician Harry Houdini also undertook a well-publicized campaign to expose fraudulent mediums. He was adamant that up to the present time, everything that I have investigated has been the result of deluded brains. As the spiritualism movement began to fade, partially through the bad publicity of fraud accusations and partially through the appeal of religious movements such as Christian Science, the spiritualist church was evolved. The church can claim to be the main vestige of the movement that's left today in the United States. It should also be noted that spiritualism is currently practiced primarily throughout various denominational spiritualist churches in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. On our next edition, we will be discussing invocation. Have more questions about spiritualism or seances? Visit our friends over at daymuse.com, where you'll find interesting information on various aspects of the paranormal, preternatural, and the occult. They also offer workshops in locating and understanding your spirit guides, and have an e-zine that's free to subscribe to that will provide tips on ritualistic magic as well as historical tidbits about the occult, religion, spiritualism, and the paranormal realms. Daymuse is spelled D-A-M-E-U-S-E. If you have any questions you'd like answered, or you'd just like to talk about moon magic or spellcasting, drop me an email at contact_us@creativiradio.com. That's creative, the letter I, radio. Until next time, keep magic in your heart, breathe deep and exhale your stress back into the universe, and pray for guidance and enlightenment. I am the Reverend Alonda Vidarjon, and I will return soon.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Creative Inspiration Radio with Alonda Vidarjon. For more information on paranormal, parapsychology, or preternatural phenomenon, visit us on the web at www.daymuse.com. that's DAEMUSE.com, and take part in one of our informative workshops. Also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Creative iRadio. Until next time, pleasant thoughts and abundance.